Hello. Greetings, everybody. Here we go. All right. We're going to see if we don't get delisted for literally rebroadcasting NASA's stream. Hopefully not. If we do, we'll be back with just the regular camera. But nobody else is in here yet, so it's just me. So I don't exactly know how to easily be on camera at the same time as doing all this stuff. Also, I think somebody's trying to get in. Hello. Oh, do you actually have a key to the gym?
I think so, but I just figured before I got the key going.
All right, that's good. Good. Okay. How you doing? All right. Here you go. We have Mrs. Williams here. All righty. Cool. Yep, just finishing setting up some stuff. We're going to sit over there. Here, you can look at these wonderful people as they're randomly talking. All right, perfect. We'll all be on this. Can I adjust this at all? Perfect. There we go. All righty. Let me just switch this here. Then, yeah, no, I've had to relearn this. I don't know this streaming software, and also, I've never actually done all the connections.
I know nothing about tech.
So I had to literally, I was texting Denzel. I'm like, Denzel, how do you do this thing? He's like, oh, yeah, just do this. I'm like, oh, okay.
The amount of times I have to preface whenever I go somewhere new, like, hey, I'm the science teacher, don't ask me about tech. I don't know anything.
Yep. Oh. Hold on. My wife is calling. Hello? Yeah, I'm on the top right now. Sorry. I'm streaming. I will look at it later. I did see. I love you.
Oh.
She was disappointed. All right. Cool. Let's see. Now, is this going to cut out? All right. Well, right now, since somebody else is here, if I sit on the other side, we'll just have this screen sitting between us, and it will look funny to them.
Cool.
Let's see. Oh, wait. I didn't hit the transition button. There's so many things to learn.
Wait, do they already have the link?
Yeah. No, I posted it up in Google Classroom.
Okay, they're good to go.
Yeah, no, the children should be good. We got a couple people here. I see Alex, Caleb, Sydney. Hello, everyone. Yeah, there we go. See, we got this TV between us now.
Oh, cool.
We just need H in here, so I'm pretty excited for this. We'll turn their audio on at some point. I just figure right now they're ranting about nonsense and talking about nothing.
We've been hyping it up enough.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's
junior
good.
high.
So, what have you been teaching your kids in class about space exploration?
So, 7th grade is doing a whole unit on space, so they've learned all about our solar system, then they learned all about Earth, now they're learning about the moon. We spent a good chunk of time focusing on Mars and why we want to explore Mars. They did projects where they built their own hypothetical Mars rover / satellite, and they're ready to go. And all the 8th graders did this last year, so they should be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Still
Good. Yeah, no, it's pretty fun. I have the 8th graders this year because I went on NASA's site and I saw these projects they had for schools.
Mm-hmm.
And so for computer class, I'm like, well, we're going to build this water filtration system.
That's awesome.
And one of the kids is like,
works because they're learning about water cycling and water conservation and science.
well, if you have to go to space, you need water, 100%. And conserving it is probably the best idea because it's heavy. So, but it was really funny because one of the kids was like, what does this have to do with computers? And I'm like, well, we're using Excel. And you're learning a lot about computers in every other class, so I'm going to do this because this is fun.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
It's
no, so
really
this should be good
sad.
times.
Last year we were talking about the James Webb Telescope.
Okay, yeah,
That was the big thing. That
Mhm.
was supposed to launch this spring, so we were
Oh,
hoping that by the time they were 8th graders, we'd get to but nope, it's not going to be. Now it's scheduled for December, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see. I was happy. So last time we went to JPL as a school, because we usually go every year, couldn't go, last year. But the last time we went, this rover was being built, and so we actually got to see them putting some of the stuff in the packaging or whatever, in their clean room there. They're all ready for the social distance masking it up when they go in the clean room to start building that stuff.
Why are they in hazmat suits? And I'm like,
it's like, well, they're looking for signs of life, and if we take life from here there, we wrecked it.
yeah.
But see, yeah, it's been super interesting to see, because I know in my lifetime we started with, well, there might have been water on Mars, to, well, we're definitely sure there was water on Mars, to now we're looking for other things on Mars. So it's been a really interesting transition. So I don't know, what's the first space thing you recall when you were growing up? What's the first space event?
So the first space thing I remember is being in middle school and hearing that Pluto was not a planet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
being like, what?
That happened after I was in college.
Because I was just like, why? And so that was the big thing. We were all trying to read up, what's a dwarf planet? And how do they know that Pluto's not a planet anymore? So that was the first big space-related thing I think I learned to care about.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure I saw lots of stuff. Like Apollo 13 had a real effect on me. The scene where they're trying to build the filter to get the one filter to work with the other filter because they didn't think about that ahead of time, and they have two different filters. That's just great. That was my engineering in a nutshell. I was just like, this is amazing.
That is awesome.
I love this. We need to make this fit with this because somehow we didn't think about it, and all we have is random trash. Figure it out. Yeah, no, that was super interesting.
Later on, I'm thinking the first time that I was probably really interested in space. Somewhere in college, I think I got really interested in the mechanics of space technology, and that kind of fed into me caring at all about space. Because I was always like, the ocean's so much more interesting than space is. Let's study the ocean. But then when I learned about the mechanics and the physics of it, I was like, I guess space is kind of cool.
Someone's trying to get in. We probably should leave that propped.
Okay.
All right. Well, we have someone else transitioning here.
Hey, you're here.
All right. Good times. Hello. Hey. All right. Hey, you guys grab a seat. I will make this look a little bit better than it does currently.
Are you already live?
Oh, yeah. We're already live, man. We are good. We're good to go.
I want to sit back here.
No, you get to go sit over there. I got chairs for you, son.
Yeah, but can you make the monitor?
It's right there.
Oh, we can see it? Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. I'm here to watch, not talk.
Oh, wait.
He's here to talk.
Oh, wait. All right. Hold on. Here you go.
What?
I might have shut yours off.
About what?
I might have shut yours off.
Okay, again, he's here to talk. Not me.
He's here to talk. All right. Let me transition this here. So we got the.
What are we looking at?
People.
There we go. All right.
Kids have the link and everything?
Yeah, it's in the Google Classrooms.
Yeah, I added it to my Google Classroom.
Yep, it's in the Google Classroom. The link to the stream.
Can we see the kids chat?
Yeah, if you pull out your phone, you can go to the live chat right now. Then you all chat as you. So, anyways, we were just talking about our earliest science memory. H, what is your earliest science memory of space? What was the first space event you recall when you were a kid?
Definitely the Challenger exploding, because we were all in the school chapel. I'll never forget that.
Ooh,
when
yeah,
it
that's
exploded, the Challenger. I'm not sure what year that was. Maybe 1986, 7?
I don't know.
I'll never forget that.
I was born in 87, so I wouldn't remember.
And I remember a school teacher was on that, Christina McCullough.
Yeah, that was rough. They were doing something
I don't
like
know why I
this,
remember her
where they were all
name.
watching on the TV.
Yep.
Except there were people in that.
Right.
And yeah, that was rough times.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, it was
Yeah.
terrible. Because I remember turning to my classmate and going, "Is it supposed to catch on fire like that?"
Oh, jeez.
And, because we weren't
Yeah.
sure what was going on. And we were what? How old?
Yep.
And so, is that normal?
What about you, Hanson? What do you recall? What's the first space memory you recall?
The first space memory. That's a good one. You mean from school?
Well, just like growing up, what's the first space event you recall, like NASA doing or something along those lines?
Well, I obviously wasn't around for the moon landing, but that was obviously the first. It was still even in. I was born in '83, so it was way after, but still, it was that was still the buzz for a long time. And then of course the movie. Remember the movie Apollo, the Apollo movie?
Oh, Apollo 13. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier.
Mine isn't as cool as everyone else.
Well, yeah, no, I was just talking about it earlier, like Apollo 13, that the scene where they're fixing the filters. That's probably what made me go to engineering
So
school.
86 was the Challenger disaster. That was 3
Oh,
years.
okay, yeah.
I was only 3. So that was a little fresh too, but I just don't remember a lot of talk about that. I don't know.
Yeah, that one's what I always remember is my mother talking about the story on how they figured out what happened. They were sitting there trying to talk about it, and one of the scientists took one of the parts they knew had failed, and while they're talking, realized he put it in the ice of his ice drink, and he brought it out and then just like smashed it on the table, and he's just like, "This is the problem," which is just crazy that little bit of a part could
Right.
cause such a problem for everything.
Yeah, and then he shows Tom Hanks how to build it in the movie. Isn't that incredible? Like he shows Tom Hanks how to build it up in space, what they need to do to solve the problem. Never. That's in Apollo 13.
Yeah,
the
no,
movie.
in Apollo 13, yeah, that scene's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Okay.
times.
So I'm trying to figure out how to best interact here.
Yeah, we got some people in the chat here.
I can see that. Now this is what we're
Oh,
looking
just go to YouTube. You have a
Uh-huh.
YouTube app, Age?
I think so.
Okay.
Is our broadcast being able to listen to are the kid? Is
Right now, I don't have the audio on for that, but I can turn it on.
Okay, whenever it goes.
Yeah. I
I
just
see.
I kind of figured right now they're just talking, so I don't have it up. But yeah,
Yeah,
when
they're
we get
just
to more
talking.
countdown stuff, I'll
For the
switch
good
the
stuff
audio
to
on.
happen.
What? So I'm going to ask some dumb questions because I obviously have not done any research about this. I'm
All
sorry,
right.
I'm not a space nerd. I'm a nerd about a lot of stuff, but space is not one of them. I'm kind of grounded here on Earth, no pun intended. But what time is the landing supposed to occur? 55?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, around 55. But also, so this is a good thing for everyone to get used to. Speed of light is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is maximum speed. So it takes 11 minutes for the data to get transmitted back to Earth from Mars.
Yeah.
So everything we're
Right.
doing is actually in time delay.
Yeah. If you look at some of the people on here, they'll have 2 watches on because they're like working in both times.
Wow.
That's incredible. That's incredible. It takes that long. That seems like a long time, but can you imagine how far that is?
Yeah, exactly.
What is the distance? Do we have that? In
And
numbers?
and think though, it's 11 minutes to Mars. So if we send anybody to Neptune,
We're talking
they're
the speed
I'm
of
not
light.
going
yeah, no.
We're talking it would take that long at the speed of light.
At the speed of light, it takes 11
So
minutes.
when did this rover take off? When was it?
Wasn't it like last?
I think it's
Summer?
it's like 6 months
I
ago
think it
ish.
was like last
So
summer.
so when
Wow, that's actually
what
not
I
that long
recall
ago.
yeah, so what I recall is our orbits when we're really close ish relative
Timing, yeah.
is about a 6-month trip, but it takes about 2 years to get back to the 6-month distance. So that is why it is really nerve-wracking because we don't orbit the sun at the same speed.
Yeah.
That's why if we were to send a manned mission up to Mars, they probably need to wait 2 years because we want as little fuel consumption as possible on either of those trips. And so to do that, you have to literally wait till that window opens up again. At least
Lu-
that's been a problem before.
Lucas said the stream is quiet. Is there a way we can bump up the audio?
The
volume?
stream is quiet? Yeah, we could probably. Huh?
Where do you get to the
July
Oh.
30, yes, last summer,
Let's see.
2020.
Last summer. Yeah, that really wasn't that long ago.
Oh, you're not logged in, H.
Considering how far that is.
That so
Yeah.
if you hit
So how about the moon missions? How long were those?
do you not have this on your phone?
I was,
Roughly?
I don't know.
Like how long did it take to get from here?
Mhm.
H, do you know, Griffith, do you know how long it would take to get to the moon from here? Like how long were those Apollo missions?
Oh,
Day, a week?
Apollo was far
I think it was a lot
before
longer than that.
my time, but let's.
Because the
quick
moon
Google
really isn't
search.
that far away,
Yeah,
actually.
sure.
The moon is actually really close.
It's very close.
In retrospect.
Anyways,
to
if you
the
log in
solar
with your
system.
school account into that
Okay.
YouTube app, then you can chat.
Okay.
All right, let's see if I can boost the audio a little
I
bit.
mean,
I was
the-
trying not to make it too
The
loud.
moon is like phenomenally far away, obviously, right? But in comparative, to everything else, relative to everything else, I'm sure all these people that are in NASA and JPL now would just laugh when you think about going to the moon. Like, that's like right around the corner, right? Like, no big deal getting to the moon.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, anyways,
Okay.
let's see. So, oh, good grief. We already got somebody disliking the stream again. They like to troll us with the dislikes, but that's okay. So yeah,
Hey, we
they.
got 24 viewers. That's awesome. I feel like a celebrity.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna switch us over here. So I'm gonna switch us over to the NASA stream, but you guys can still talk over it right now.
No, we're boring. Let's listen to NASA.
No. See, we can have them be on at the same time.
Yeah, see where those people are? I've actually stood right down there before with a student from RAA.
So question for you guys. We were talking about this with the 7th graders. And there's like 4 main objectives when we go on like these type of missions. And so what would be your objective if you could have your own mission to Mars? Like, what are you looking for? What questions would you have?
Well, from what I understand, they're looking for water.
They're looking for signs of life.
Right, and so the number one thing whenever I take my kids to JPL, they talk about that, is they're looking for water because they believe if they find water, then they'll find signs of life. Hanson was telling me just a few minutes ago before we came in here, is looking for carbon also.
Mm-hmm.
So Casey said it takes 3 days to get to the moon.
It does.
That's crazy. That's faster than a senior trip.
Yep.
No pun intended. Casey, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking
Yeah,
time
there
out
we
of
go.
your-
We got some seniors in the
I know,
chat, even on their
thanks.
week off.
So
That's awesome.
Casey, she's in my organic chemistry class right now. She's actually pretty passionate about aerospace. I think she's doing aerospace engineering or
Awesome.
something in aerospace.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I love
Aerospace
to see that there's still
engineering
that
is
passion.
cool.
Yep. So,
We were talking about a compound in organic chemistry, which is kind of cool. It's a carbon compound.
yeah.
Normally, carbon likes to do ring structures, like pentanes or hexanes, whether 5 carbons or 6 carbons, because it's pretty stable. Especially if you use those molecule kits, you can see how stable it is and easy to build. If you try to take 3 carbon atoms and using the sticks to connect, you'll see there's a lot of strain, and so it's hard to do. There's a lot of there are compounds out there where there's 3 carbons in the ring structure, but it's very unstable. And they found that compound on, Casey, maybe you can help us out. It was in the atmosphere of one of the moons of either Jupiter or Saturn. I can't remember one of the two. And so that was like phenomenal because they're thinking, well, if that compound is there, it's obviously super reactive, and so there's got to be some chemical reactions occurring, which could mean life.
That's cool.
Which it really is an interesting conversation. I told my biology kids to chat in the chat if they could think of anything biologically related to this. And what do we consider life? You know, if we find something on Mars, what will be the threshold for which we would say this molecule or group of molecules is living or not living? Really interesting.
Well, they do a lot of looking at like the geology as well, like patterns of life. Too, so even if it's not something that's currently living.
It's just really interesting to think about how we, define life. And, we don't even qualify a virus as living, even though it has the message. It has the protection for the message. It just doesn't have any reader for the message to make the proteins. And so again, it's got the DNA, it's got the RNA, whatever NA it does have, whatever nucleic acid. But it's not living because it's not doing anything. It needs a host. And so it has to do with all the processes happening. Well, are there molecules that are doing processes on Mars? Probably. Does that make them living or not living? I would say it's kind of a stupid argument.
Yeah.
I don't think there's people up there. I don't think there's any, major life. So I wouldn't get super excited even if we find some small life.
Yeah, I think the main thing is looking for signs that there ever was life and if there could ever be life, more so than like if there is life right now.
Yeah, and it's it's an interesting thing thinking about, because it's kind of funny because I remember being in college, a lot of people, when they hear that was space, they instantly want to shut it down because somehow they find that in contrast with their views of creation. Whereas I like looking at the science because every time we figure out more rules, it's like, well, God made the rules. I'm just trying to figure out how the rules work. Obviously there could be a better system that we have that involves not death, which would be great. But under current rules, like what is it? Like where could life be? What could happen? And so I always find that exploration interesting and worth the pursuit.
Definitely the life would look different on Mars, wherever it would be. You can't compare apples to oranges, and the life there is not going to look like the life here. Micah was wondering if you could create some sort of plant life if they did find water. Well, again, you can't, just because you find water, what are the other requirements for plant life here? Those situations don't really exist on Mars. It's pretty hot and cold.
And they were talking about that earlier when I was looking at a stream of, so let's say you go and you do find signs of life, now what? And they really haven't gotten past go. They're like, well, then we'll just get the best minds in the world together and figure out what's next. They don't really have a plan
That
for
life would be relevant on Mars. You couldn't bring that life back here and probably use it for anything. I mean, I could take that back. You probably could.
Well, they're
It
trying
wouldn't be
to.
alive anymore, but maybe it makes compounds that don't exist in a stable form here, and then we bring them back, and they're very useful. Maybe we can find gold.
Well, they're trying to
Platinum.
bring back like sediment.
That's what I would say would be better.
Mhm.
The life, maybe that's cool and all, but if we can bring back precious metals that are rare here, and we could use them for technology and computers and things like that. Now it seems to go for mining, Use mining.
Yeah.
Can you imagine spending so much of your life trying to be ready for this moment? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these workers have put, months, if not years, into
The
this.
joy when it's over and successful.
Right.
I mean, I remember the looks on people's faces on the Apollo missions. It was like, the finale. There's got to be some PTSD from that too, because how do you get any joy after that? You
Right.
finally landed
Yep.
On the moon. What else is there?
So, do you all remember the different ways they've landed rovers before? So this one is landing, and they're kind of just sort of dropping it down. But I remember the earlier ones; they literally dropped them and had them bounce.
Yes.
That was one of the funniest things. Those rovers, they just were like, I don't know, we don't know how to make this land softly. So what if we just put a bunch of airbags on it and just let it just bounce around?
It seems like the safest thing, the engineering approach would be to make it capable of bouncing, but try to land it softly. So
Yeah. Well, it's just interesting to see the difference in the technology, as it's advanced. But back then they didn't trust enough that they could, do the type of landing they're doing now, where they have a lot more control. But but it's really, again, as H was talking about, it's really nerve-wracking, because then on top of everything, you have to hope it goes right. You also just have that time delay where it could have gone wrong 10 minutes ago, and you don't know.
Speaking of time in 10 minutes, we're almost about, 10 minutes away?
5 minutes.
Yeah, about
There's the
5
countdown
minutes
right
here.
there on the
5
phone, right?
minutes.
So it's about 5 minutes away, I think, from entering the atmosphere. And so then again, everything is kind of delayed here. So
Yes.
we'll see exactly what comes up, but this will be really
Here's hoping
interesting.
that it doesn't all go wrong, like the SpaceX ship did a couple weeks ago.
What are we going to see? What is visible? I mean, obviously, they're going to have some computer simulations of it, but there's not gonna be
Yeah,
really-
I
Yeah, they've been
figure
showing them.
I figure we probably aren't going to get an image till maybe tomorrow would be my guess.
Will it be video too, or
There's-
just an image?
Oh yeah, they've got a lot of cameras. They were talking about this earlier. They have a lot of cameras on it. So we probably get video and image, but it's one of those, I remember before from previous landings, it's one of those, first they just want to make sure it lands, then they want to make sure everything's communicating, then it goes through these whole startup setup procedures, and that usually takes, a day at least.
There's going to be another stream this evening and tomorrow morning with post-landing information and all that. For anyone who's interested.
Do you remember the
Yeah.
the animations on the moon landing?
No,
That is some
I-
cool stuff to go YouTube some of that. That's fun to watch. I
I've
mean,
looked
it's
at some from the Mars landing.
Yeah, they've
so
done.
old, it just looks so, that old TV technology, all the graphics and the sound effects, and it's like, but at the back of your mind, you're thinking we're landing on the moon.
Yeah, no, when you think about the technology they used to get to the moon in the first place, compared to what we have now, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that whole thing, my iPhone is way more powerful than
We
the
have
entire
much
thing
better
they use.
renderings of the moon now.
Yeah,
We were
right.
looking at some yesterday.
Oh, you mean like the
Mm-hmm.
So
We
yeah,
took a
the
tour of the moon and different craters.
the other thing is, the other advantage of going to somewhere like Mars versus the moon is because Mars is a lot closer to our size planet-wise, they have a lot less problem with muscle decay and things. Whereas long term, spending time long term on the moon, I mean, just in space, they've already seen like spending a year in space is not good on your system. Our systems are designed for gravity,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's gonna be an interesting thing to see.
That's H's field. 9.8.
Yes, he was helping me with a physics lab yesterday, and we got 9.8 newtons
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
of force. Good times with the pulley lab.
It is weird how there's those forces being exerted on us and we don't feel them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the moon and, I was seeing that video on the pulleys or whatever. There, an extension to that video was on the a space station. It's real hard to just move things, so they use pulleys a lot with snap blocks and things, so they can pull on cords that are attached to fixed surfaces. And be able to move things that way. But he had a pretty cool
Stuff.
pulley lab. But what I think is cool too is how fast the Earth is moving, and we don't feel that. We're
Yeah.
moving so fast.
Yeah, it is always interesting in that there's a lot of things like that where in electricity classes we were learning about how voltage really isn't your problem, it's your current. Similar to velocity is not your problem, it's usually acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
It's other forces that are your problem. Whereas like we're going super fast. Every person here is going really, really, really fast. That's not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is if you suddenly start decelerating.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's also-
Acceleration or deceleration.
Yeah.
If the Earth was to just stop right now, we'd be in big trouble.
Well, so that's like one funny thing. If you look at science fiction, you look at almost any ship they have in there, they look like fighter jets where they have jets on the back. But if you're in space, you always need to also slow down, because otherwise you're just going to go straight into the thing. So often that's the problem. It's like you can get up to speed, but at some point you have to also reduce that speed. So a lot of times when they're approaching the planet, they're actually trying to reduce their speed, so they can get caught in.
We are what, 30 seconds
Yep.
away? From
All right, yeah, it's about to hit the atmosphere.
We're about 30 seconds.
All right, so I'm gonna switch
Do you have
this.
any fun facts about the Mars atmosphere?
2 kilometers per second and is about 190 kilometers
Okay.
altitude above the
Fun
surface of
facts
Mars.
about Mars atmosphere? How about any of our viewers?
All right, yeah. All right, here we go. We got some simulations here. They're showing us.
Let's see.
About seconds from entry interface.
All right.
5.3 kilometers per
Definitely some
second and
greenhouse
an altitude
gases,
of 150 kilometers from the
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They just don't have very much in the atmosphere. It'll be interesting to see.
Really gotta brush up on
Like,
space.
That's one of those things I want to
Space
look
is
into
interesting,
more.
But it's a lot of unknown.
They have confirmation
Mhm.
But
of
all of
I
entry
feel like
interface.
Earth has got a lot of
Perseverance
unknowns
is
to
currently
study
going
before
Oh,
it
yeah.
goes to space.
I
It's so
would-
interesting, you
I'm
know,
very
like,
interested
about
in the ocean.
100
I
Let's
want to
see-
see.
I want to see what's in the Mars
Mars.
atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere as it is interesting. It's just interesting to think about how is gravity keeping certain
95%
things.
CO2.
Until it begins.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
A lot
but
of greenhouse.
yeah, but
gas.
what is that pressure rating though of that atmosphere?
Atmosphere, it will
Pressure?
start
Yeah, what's the
controlling
pressure?
Yeah, that's a
path to
different
the landing
story.
target.
Because we have 1 ATM here. I'm guessing it's
Well,
.001.
it's going to be heavier because
Navigation is also
CO2 is
confirming
a lot
that we
heavier
can
than
see
Yeah, but there's almost none of it.
of
There's not very much.
the
There's not a
atmosphere
lot,
on
isn't there?
Oh,
Is-
you're right. The amount, the thickness of the atmosphere. Is
yeah,
huge.
I'm saying
If
like
it's
if I
95%
did.
CO2, that's not a big deal if it's only half a mile thick.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just saying if I pull out off my spacesuit, I'm pretty sure I'll depressurize there. I don't think there's enough pressure. But I am not sure.
It's got 0.16%.
Yeah, I don't know about
molecular
inhabiting
oxygen.
Mars, but I'm curious what resources we can grasp on there.
Hammer has lost lock.
Perseverance.
Yeah, there's
When
an
it
interesting,
shows that
yeah,
Perseverance is
what
now
could we get from
performing
Mars?
reversals in the
And is it
atmosphere.
economically worth like moving?
That's in order
You
to
know, I mean,
control
all right, we
its
could go take stuff from there, but do we really want to bring it back here? Like, what is it doing for us?
I'm just like,
point of maximum
well, if
deceleration
God put
and
us
has
here,
indicated
what
that
were those
it
planets
felt
for?
approximately
Well, we go with those planets. What's the rest of the soul? The universe. There's so much
Exactly.
stuff.
Dude,
Exactly.
Mars atmosphere
They
is
have a
nuts.
purpose.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, not only is there a
saw a
bunch of
small
CO2, but because of the extreme temperatures, it's constantly like freezing over the poles and then evaporating, so it's changing states of matter. It's causing just complete chaos. Like studying Mars atmosphere is not like trying to study
Yeah.
Earth. There's so many other variables that.
That's one of those fun things to look at
pressure
is those.
changes because of the
Yeah,
atmospheric
those-
pressure you're saying.
Yeah, the state of matter diagrams. Have you done that with your kids yet in chemistry?
Yes.
Yeah, those state of matter
Triple
diagrams
points.
are triple points. Like those are crazy. Because if you think about like a lot of our stuff here, it's like you can go through the 3 states of matter pretty easy most of the time. But like if you go to other places like that, you're gonna be bouncing all around.
Entered heading alignment, which means Perseverance is no longer trying to control the distance. to
H,
Mars
are they
and
monitoring from the
to
room
the
we visit?
target on Mars, but
Oh
is
yeah,
Yeah.
what Mara's asking. Yeah, no, that's
to the
they
target.
are monitoring from that room that we get to observe when we
Yeah,
go to
we were up in
JPL.
the top balcony looking down through a glass window
That's
at all of
cool.
this, and I once got to go out on the floor with a student, which was really cool. I got a bunch of pictures of it somewhere. But yeah, I've actually stood right where those people are in the JPL headquarters there where they're doing all of this.
Yeah, and so JPL is specifically the mission control for this because this is a rover, and JPL works on rovers and robot. type interactions.
At an altitude of about 15 kilometers
So,
from the
do we
surface.
have anything orbiting Mars anymore at the moment? Do we have an orbiter? I'm trying to remember.
The telemetry log.
I know
That I
we
don't
did
know.
recently.
We are coming
I
up
don't
on
remember
the
if we
straighten up-
still do.
We are starting to straighten up and fly right.
That
maneuver.
is something I still
Where
want
the
to.
spacecraft
I
will
would like to
descend
really
the
see.
entry
I would
balance
like
masses
to see
in
an
preparation for
official,
parachute
which
deploy
NASA will
and
never
roll
give
over
us
to give the
because
radar a
of
better look at the
governments. I want to
ground.
see how many things are actually orbiting Earth.
Hmm.
How many satellites are there really?
Confirm that the
Oh.
Hey, I see a bunch of clapping.
we are seeing significant
Oh,
Oh, hey.
deceleration
Okay.
in the velocity. Our current velocity is 400
kinda
meters
anticlimactic.
per second at an
Yeah.
altitude of about 12
Yeah.
kilometers.
Yours is live with it. Mine's got about a 5-second delay.
So we have a parachute.
I am sorry. When I was setting all this stuff up, the one thing I could not figure out how to do was to get this audio
Perseverance has
from
now
this
slowed to
stream
subsonic
out into this
speed,
room.
and the heat shield has been
Ah.
Heat
activated.
shield
This
separation.
allows both the radar and the cameras to get their
Wow.
first look at
Mhm.
the surface. Current velocity
Yeah, you're
is
right. They used to have those
Oh.
balloons when they would bounce.
145 meters per second.
145
Now I think they've got a
meters per second.
hydraulic system, so it'll
Just
stop on its
decelerating.
own. At least the last time they did this, they did.
They did what?
They had like a
Tension
hydraulic
alert.
system, so it would stop on its
It's
own
getting
with
real close.
exhaust.
Oh yeah, Casey, you should do it.
I was seeing there's a lot of countries involved in this project. Right? It's not
Yeah.
Perseverance now has radar lock on the ground. Current
98 meters per
velocity
Yeah,
is
students, let us know if you ever
150
need us to write recommendation letters for you to work at JPL.
Oh yeah, they do. They do internships,
Yeah.
especially once
Continuing to
COVID goes
descend on
away.
parachute. We are coming up on
Yeah, where I grew up in
the
Maryland, they had
location
another
of terrain
headquarters. It wasn't
navigation
JPL, but it was
and
NIH.
Casey
timing
said
of the
that your
landing
trip to
engines. Our
JPL
current velocity is
inspired
about
her.
90
Pushed her
meters
That's
desire.
awesome.
Oh, awesome, KAA.
4.2 kilometers.
Cool. I could see her working there. Man,
That's
you'd be
awesome.
awesome.
We have
Amba
confirmation
awesome.
that the lander vision
Sorry.
system has produced a valid solution
That's all I
in
know.
terrain relative navigation.
Wow, this is
Okay,
so cool.
so they
It's-
have some scanner that is now they've just confirmed worked, so they can actually tell where it's gonna land.
Good.
So that's what they're showing. Right, if you look right
Oh, yeah, I
now,
can
that's
see
yeah, they're.
Connections. Oh, there it is.
6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back
Looks
shell
like
has
it's going
separated.
well.
We
Yeah,
are
it's only
currently
at
performing the
74
divert
meters per
maneuver.
second now.
Current velocity
Yeah,
is
see,
about
they're checking all the
75 meters per
data to
second
see
at
if
an
it's going as
altitude
planned, and
of
it looks
about a
like they're on
kilometer off the
schedule
surface of Mars.
for their different
Sierra Safety
phases.
Bravo.
If you ever go to visit
We are
JPL, they show
continuing
you
our terrain relative navigation.
clips of this from previous
Current speed is
years.
about 30
So
meters per
someone's
second,
taping it
altitude
now
about
to show for a
300 meters
future group to
off
go
the
there.
surface
Mm.
of Mars.
Yeah, a couple hundred meters from the surface.
Yeah, and it's already about half the speed it was a minute ago.
This is
100,
cool.
100
We have
meters
started
from
our
the
constant
surface.
velocity.
Looks like some 1/2
According
AT
to we
squared
are
action.
Conducting the sky crane. About
Anybody?
to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct-to-earth tones.
As expected.
22 meters from the surface.
Extraction maneuver has started.
Oh boy, 20 meters.
About 20 meters off the
It is a
surface.
slow
Wow,
release.
20 meters off the surface. That's not even that far.
Well, those of you who went last year, see that
That's it.
that room
We have
they're looking
landed.
at.
We have landed.
We were right outside there.
Hey.
MRO.
We were right
Landed.
outside there and took a class picture. I remember I was with Benny Lopez and Luke
Everybody is,
Perkins.
like stunned right now. They're like,
Good
should we cheer?
times.
Should we not cheer? This landed.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, there we go. It is on Mars.
Yay. See, now all you guys are going to have a much better first space memory than I did.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Small step.
Woo.
Woo!
That's a small step for a robot.
Pro robotics.
Yeah, for a robot.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's a
And
giant
that's-
step for a robot.
Look
Keep
at all those
keep
cool math and
proving that
science
robots
people.
should not be bipedal.
Look at that. They're all wearing polo shirts just like us.
Now,
So seriously, how soon can we get images? You think we get those quick?
I don't know. I'll be curious to see. I don't know, because this one is having to do a lot less setup than the other ones, because it's not unfolding the way the other one did, where
No.
it was in those bags and
There's some
stuff.
pretty good images of Mars though, just from the.
This is why I want to see the James Webb go up, because that's going to give us some real cool images.
I know. I
Mhm.
wish the
The
kids could
James
see the
Webb.
clean room where they do all these sort of
Yeah.
It's so surreal. Stay tuned.
preparations. See, yeah, one little mistake in the clean room in this moment wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Mhm.
Yay!
Yeah, they have a
Mhm.
clean room. It's very interesting to see there.
Good.
Now they were
Good
only
for them.
building parts of the rover.
Been
Though.
riding on that.
Right.
Do you-
Right.
Where did they assemble the whole thing at? Do you know?
They have different places around the campus.
I thought they did. Yeah, I thought that clean room. I thought that clean room is where they assemble it and then they ship it and then it gets tested and cleaned
They
again
assembled
somewhere
parts-
else.
They assembled like parts of it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
most of it though is in the clean room. I think Griff is right.
yeah.
Yeah, they have to go through this process to get in and clear out their clothes every day they go in to work on it.
Hey, good to see you all guys here watching this. This is fun
Yeah,
stuff.
where did it take off from? I'm not sure. Good question. Do you know that, Griff?
Where did it take off from?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's.
Is it Cape
I don't
Canaveral
remember.
in
Probably
Florida?
they have.
Is it even North America?
Yeah, usually. Yeah, they have set spots where they launch from. So
I
I'm
think it
pretty
might
sure
be
it was.
Cape Canaveral
Yeah.
in Florida because I think that's their main launching spot.
Yeah, because that's where
That's cool.
yeah, they have when we're at JPL they talk about that. They have their reasons for everything. Like they have their communication spots. They have their where launching spots where it's close to the equator and you don't have too much weather issues.
Right.
There he is.
Oh!
Hey, Mr. Bello is here. You want to say anything to the wonderful audience?
Was there a big stand up and then clapping there like JPL?
Yes, they weren't allowed to hug. There was no hugging, but there was lots of just stand, be excited. No hugging.
Hey, that is kind of interesting. Like, this is gonna go down in history.
Yeah.
They're all wearing masks. There's like 2 historical events going on here at once.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, really.
one of the JPL scientists I follow on Twitter was talking about. He's like, everyone's gonna be excited, and it's gonna be weird that we cannot hug.
We have it. We have footage.
Hey, there it
Oh,
is.
hey.
Hey.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Now it comes from the engineering cameras.
I'm teaching science, so like
Don't
they
you
can
have
be
Mountain
here.
Dew you're supposed to be drinking?
All right, and so
Oh, there it is.
so they also say this is the engineering hazard camera, which is why it's not like the nicest picture. But man, yeah, they're getting images fast.
That is not
This is
bad.
way
I'm
faster
gonna
than the
look at
last
the
ones.
stream later this evening and see if we get some good stuff.
Mhm.
This is
Oh,
cool.
right.
There's gonna be
Bello
so
has a
many
wild
historic
animal
events within,
park
like, the
cup.
Yeah,
last
no,
year.
this is
Of course he
great.
does. I am staring at a wild animal park cup from Darren
It's a
Bello.
lemur.
Yes, Lamar, that
That's a-
is an
yeah, that's a
image from
lemur.
the rover,
Sit down,
and
Mr.
that
Bello.
is a
Sit
lemur.
down and join us with your space mask.
Oh, actually, I just realized they're not seeing you at all, Darren. No. Well, yeah. Right now we just have this feed. We're talking over it. I could switch it.
They can't see my Star Wars jacket.
Here we go. Now they can see all of you staring at your phones again.
Star Wars
I
gear.
did. I wore my
There we go.
space
There's the lemur they were talking about.
Star Wars jacket.
All right. Slowly learning how to do this.
Space mask.
There we go. Bello talking about his space mask he's got. All right. Let's go back to the bigger shot, though, with watching them. All right. Everyone there is excited. They're getting more images. There's the second image.
Where's Mr. Blair?
Okay, these we have a camera.
I guess
He-
we
oh,
still
yeah,
have
you were-
biology
you-
class.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
He used to work there, right? Good call.
Near the ground, so these are pretty close. You can see the wheels there, and they're a little dirty because.
But Heather sent us one of the links for this, so she was into
Benny,
it. They're
they
watching
already
it.
brought up the camera possibly breaking like earlier in the stream. They're like, "Don't worry, we've got a lot of cameras.
Probably like 100
If one
cameras
breaks,
in
we got a lot of
Well,
cameras."
the last rover had a lot of cameras, so I'm hoping this one will be better than that one.
And we even know where we landed. This is the most amazing thing. Their vehicle has told us where it's
Oh.
landed because it figured it out. No, this is a sign. NASA works. NASA works. And we put our hearts together and our hands together and our
Oh,
brains
that's
together.
smart, yeah.
We can succeed. This is what NASA does. This is what we can do as a country. On all of the problems we have, we need to work together to do these kinds of things and make success happen.
Wow. Like in 10 years. Hey, some of you guys could be on that team in 10 years.
All right, Bello telling us about the
Talk about
amazing
messing
things.
up an
Administrator of
ecosystem.
NASA, Steve Jurisic. Steve, welcome and congratulations.
Oh, good question. Good question. It would be an
And how does
abiotic.
it feel to have another?
All right, this guy right here is so excited that he does not have to say it blew up. He's in a room alone. He lives alone.
What an amazing team to work through all the adversity that goes and all the challenges that go with landing a rover on Mars, plus the challenges of COVID and just an amazing accomplishment.
And what does this mean for NASA and its future plans?
So for robotic exploration, every time we execute a
I really
mission
like
with
the
new
symbol they have
instruments,
for this
we
rover.
discover new things.
Yeah.
That's
Things
fun.
we never
That's
thought
good.
we would discover.
I think
So
they did
that's
really
what
good
always
press
informs
for
our
this,
future robotic
this
missions.
one.
Yeah.
In
Both
marketing.
landers, rovers, and orbiters. This mission also has technology.
Well,
on
you know,
it.
I think it's
One of
been
the
I think it's
cool
been
things
long
they
enough.
can
This
do
is one of
in
these things where enough kids grew up seeing it who became press people, and organizations like this finally realized they had to hire press people, and that combination has meant they finally have people as opposed to just having the engineers do it, which is where you get disasters. Having been in an engineering school, you don't want those people doing your press 90% of the time. We had this one time where one of our teachers was like, "All right, we're going to show you example presentations for your final presentation so you know how it should go." And they put on ties because they thought they should look nicer. That's literally the only change. It was not a good change. And then they start doing these presentations, and they were terrible. And it was just like they had text all over their PowerPoint slides. I'm just like, this is the example of good we're doing.
Oh, no.
This is just an incredible mission because
Well, now
of
I'm
the
just eager to
science
find
and
out
the
what they find
technology
and talk about.
and
I'm
then
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
tuned in for the next speaker.
Yeah, so they're going to have a press conference that'll have a lot more information, I think about 2:30?
Yes.
Yeah, 2:30. So everyone should check that out if you can. We sadly will not be with you then, but you can watch that on your own.
So I guess we're having biology class.
We have so much to look
At
forward
2:30?
to.
You're having
And
biology
we
class
also
at
have a
2:30?
student question coming
Or is
in
that lab
from
time?
Landon. Let's take a look.
Hi YouTube. Hi Emma. Hi Lily.
I canceled my
Thank
classes
you.
today. I said we're doing this live.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I know. I told them they could watch.
And my
this.
question is, do you
As long
think
as
we
they
could
chatted
get
about
resources from Mars?
And then I spent like an hour and a half in here. I spent a good 30 minutes trying to figure out how to unmute these mics into the computer. It was very embarrassing which button I missed.
This event was so important, it showed up on my Apple
Well,
calendar.
nope, it's a black screen.
Oh,
I don't
it
understand
showed up
why-
on my Apple
They said
calendar
there
there.
was a bunch of like press and stuff. I didn't really get like any YouTube videos pop up on my feed.
I did. You're searching the wrong stuff.
I know. Apparently.
Thank you, brother.
Hanson, I've seen you watch some of your your conspiracy videos. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But no space stuff.
You've been watching too many SNL skits with H.
Oh, no.
It messed your algorithm up.
I like a little bit of appropriate.
And then we can use that for potable water.
I'm
and
all
also
right.
break it down into
All right.
oxygen and hydrogen for rocket
I'd like to point out that on Sunday, I got asked by a worker at Starbucks to put my mask on while I was ordering.
human missions.
Why were you not wearing it while you were ordering?
I went like this to take it down to order. And she goes,
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I went, yes, I would like the large iced coffee.
You walked up within 3 feet of a person and said, "This is when I'm going to lose the mask." That's what you said.
Soundwaves travel just as fast.
Jessica, your
That's what my family said, the same reaction. But do you guys do that by habit when you go to order something?
No. I
No, I gotta
I
stop.
specifically put it on when I go to order things. So I use the
What about
drive-thru.
the drive-thru?
Yeah. I just put it on right when I see the people.
And then this team behind us will be the team that does the help.
I'm
We've
gonna
been
Loviak and I
talking
got
about
told off by a
perseverance
barista.
for weeks
progress on this mission.
in 7th grade.
What do the
We are on
next
top of
weeks look like for your team? So
No,
as
that was
we
Claudette. That was
approach
Claudette.
time
Mrs.
now,
Sanders.
the
Yeah.
commanding team
She put it in there when
will
I think when I mentioned it on faculty
so
meeting.
that, we can
It was funny.
perform the
Yeah, no,
initial
that was not
checkouts
me.
of our
I don't
solar
add things to the
functions and
general
our science
calendar.
instruments. And we have to do this all in time for the regularly scheduled communication path.
Hey, Lucas
which happens
Dreberg
in
said
the
living
morning.
rocks.
And so we will be
That's
working
the
around
exact
the
topic
clock,
I was thinking of.
making sure that
You know, what do we consider
perseverance
living
is
and not
healthy,
living? We look at
and
rocks and think they're not
we will
living, but
begin this
the chemical
exciting
reactions are happening inside of them. And
Can you tell me what's it like living on Mars?
I mean, we
It's,
we haven't figured out what
Also, what's
viruses are
considered
doing.
a rock?
We don't know what viruses are.
The rover, on Earth.
Is COVID alive? We don't know.
I did read a really interesting article. I know this is
So
not
the
about
team is
space.
going to be
it's the
shifting
opposite.
our
It's
work schedule by
underwater.
40 minutes.
That's all right. That's basically
like a
space.
mile down,
Uh-huh.
and they found
So
this
it,
boulder
it'll be
underneath like a mile of ice.
exciting
And the boulder had life on it,
some
like plant life
some
growing on it.
late
And they
late
were like,
nights.
there's no
but
life
What?
we're
around
also
anywhere, no
excited
plankton.
and,
So
we,
how are these things?
can't
Where
wait
was the
to
sun?
whole new lifestyle.
Exactly, and no sun either.
We also
But
have
I guess there
student
was
question for
enough
you.
light
This
from
is
miles and miles
Sophia's
and
video.
miles away, and there was a current of plankton
my name is
from
Sophia Lopez,
another
and my
source of
question for
organic
NASA
material,
is,
like
how
way, way
perseverance
away,
gonna
but it was
survive?
doing a
And
horizontal
here's a
current that they
drawing
found.
that I
They were like,
made
it's
from
got to be it.
Perseverance.
Just a
It's
small
another
current of
one.
organic
Thank you.
material was supplying this rock or
Well,
this boulder
Sophia,
with
perseverance
some. You can even see
survives
the things growing off
with
of
a
it.
power
like it's,
source.
That's
we really
crazy.
need to explore more of our own planet. So much of what we teach is under the surface is all hypothetical.
Yeah, no, it's very true, and it. I mean, even looking at like what we classify as life, I mean, you know, again, realize that that's just us making up classifications. Like, what is a mammal? Then you go to Australia, and you're like, here's a platypus.
And then out of all the
Thanks for your
organisms
time,
that
Jessica,
have
and
DNA,
good luck
there's
living
something
on
special
Mars
about
time.
us.
Thank
That's
you.
kind of the
Should be
chapter
fun.
we're on in biology right now. And,
Mhm.
Let's head back
so
to Rena
remarkable
as
things
she
about
gives
the
us a
relationships that
sneak
we have,
peek
the
into the
emotions we have,
future at
and the things
JPL.
that human beings have that no other animal has.
Absolutely.
Clearly, is evident
Thanks so
here.
much, Raquel. It's definitely bustling behind
Creating-
me. It's
creating
not
in his own
quite like
image,
it
which is
was
so
just
awesome,
20
right?
minutes
Mhm.
ago, and
If you were a
congrats to
creator,
the
would you
whole
create
team.
something that was
What
on
an
par with
amazing
you?
accomplishment. Mike
would create
Watkins
something
is
less
the
than me.
director of NASA's Jet
But God took
Propulsion
that risk.
Laboratory. He was the mission
I think I'd try to
manager
create
on
something
the
better than me.
rover
You
landing
would.
on
Yeah,
Mars.
because
risky.
that's the legacy I'm leaving behind.
Oh,
Thanks,
true.
glad to be here.
You created
You
it.
can see all my math.
Who
Yep.
cares if it was better than you? You created it.
Right.
Well, you were just
What'd you say?
celebrating, and rightly so. Now, you've been around for a number of Mars landings.
What does that say about your
makes this
child?
special?
Well, you know, two things. It's the biggest and best rover we've ever
Create
sent to
something.
Mars.
You all can't hear Bello, but he's roasting. He's roasting
You
Hanson
wanna
right
create a
now.
robot that's stronger than you, do you?
Habitable environment, you know, at Jezero. But you know, it's also as
Hey, Griff, could you set up a live feed tonight for the Capitals Sabres game at 7
That, my friend, is illegal. That, my friend, is illegal to do.
Is it?
So, yes.
I work for the church. I don't know anything about that.
That doesn't make it legal. I work for the church.
See, sorry, I took my mask down again.
I am not commenting on how Pastor Lamar and I may have watched basketball games on our last senior trip. I am saying I'm not going to use the school's account to host your game.
Thank you. Thank you, dude, with the Mountain Dew and the lemur cup from the Wild Animal Park. Got to get me one of those.
further away, like Europa.
No.
Right now, robotic exploration is the only way we can make these scientific discoveries and really.
I'm on campus. I somehow don't notice that. You know what it is?
I'm starting to notice that too.
No. What it is I don't run Zoom that time because I am that's usually my high school algebra 2 class, and I'm always like, hey, if you want to go to lunch early, you can, and they always leave. And then they just text me.
I noticed it yesterday because it didn't record 2 of the Kahoots game questions. It was out for.
Every time we do one of these missions, we make fabulous discoveries.
Right. It had no. I just gave it to them that they got it right, which I'm sure they did anyways.
The future
Hopefully.
does look exciting. Now, as
But we did 12 questions and it said they'd only done 10.
Well, now I know if there's ever an issue with my 8th graders, I can blame it on that.
I mean, they have worked, for years and years on this mission.
Yeah, no, because that's what happened here. Like literally, I was doing stuff. I was trying to put up the one of the NASA images as our thumbnail for this video.
Yeah.
And like then I start clicking on stuff and it just goes, NASA's down. And I'm like, what do you mean NASA.gov is down? NASA.gov is not down.
Are we getting more images now?
But this is Redlands.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah, does anyone have a copy of that song from Audrey Turner? I think we should play that more. I like that song she sang. Do you remember that?
Yeah. You get the singing people to sing it for you. H. You get a recording.
Well, somewhere we've got the lyrics and I don't know where that is. That's Jedediah.
So, for
might know.
much of the team, this part of the mission's over, but
Go to class. You don't need to go to class, H. What class you got right now?
I promised the pre-cal chillins we would practice exponential graphs.
Oh, I was
So
just
they could
teaching
get a
that to
head
someone
start over the
recently.
weekend.
The fun of exponential.
Those are terrible.
I know they're so technical. I agree. Left, right, up, down, flipped. Oh.
It's my pleasure. Thanks
Growth,
everyone for
decay.
joining us too.
Congrats again to the Mars
Huh?
2020.
Well, it's over,
Perseverance
right?
team
This is
for
the
a
post-game
successful
show.
landing.
This is the post. This isn't even the post game show. The post game show's at 2:30.
Yeah, see, I think this is the aftermath.
Mrs. Williams, a bunch of your people are freaking out, trying to figure out if they have class today.
Yeah, we're heading. We're gonna
I
talk
know, I'm
about
gonna
the
go there
moon.
too.
All right,
We're
well,
gonna
hey, thank you all for joining us today to watch this awesome Mars rover landing.
This was fun.
We are going to head out here, send this video to your friends who missed it, and we are going to see what awesome information they come up with soon. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye. Thanks, Griff, for hooking this up.
Yeah, good stuff.
A+.
From day one,